Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope we had a great weekend. Mine was pretty okay. And we'll be going into some news. There's going to be a lot of news today, so we're probably going to go over a few things. This one is kind of obvious, and then the other ones will be a bit more hectic, especially the YouTube Kids story that will be coming up after shortly. Anyway, what we're dealing with is women's rights and how they're getting attacked. New Zealand women's rights campaigner mobbed attacked by trans activists. A British women's rights campaigner was forced to cut her New Zealand tour short after being met with extreme aggression at her first stop in Auckland. Kelly J. King, also known by her mother Posie Parker, had to be escorted out of the Albert Park area by police before her event was even able to kick off. King was set to host a pro-women's rights rally with the intention of allowing women to voice their concerns about gender ideology. But the decision to cancel her New Zealand tour was made after a trans activist broke through the barriers at her event in Auckland and directed aggression towards the women, gathering to speak on their rights. During the altercation, King and her security staff were assaulted by trans activists. Reports have also been made that an elderly woman attended the event in support of King was also subject to physical abuse, but those claims are as of yet unconfirmed. So, we'll actually go through this whole issue here with the whole trans stuff, because there's a video, and it's going to show us exactly how the trans activists, how these lunatics really act towards people that just want, keep their rights. As we can see here, they look very peaceful by breaking down stuff and what have you. I don't know if anybody's ever been into a situation to where this type of stuff happens, but it's not really pleasant. When somebody is acting aggressive, let alone hundreds of people, it becomes a massive problem. Because the mere fact of this is that aggression is not a form of safety. It's a form of people maybe being in fear or wary of that what person is doing. So normally you're going to have your defenses up, the tension is high, and you do feel uncomfortable in a situation. So when you see people do this is not really an act of, the so-called loving and respect type of people that we think that they are. They're more of a violent and do what we say or will hurt you type of people. The New Zealand event was part of King's International Let Women Speak tour. King has hosted rallies across the UK, USA, and Australia, encouraging women to use her platform to speak about how gender ideology has impacted their lives. Yeah, which is 100% negatively. And that's what these trans activists want. They want to completely remove all women's rights. 100%. They want to remove them. They want to make them lesser than people. They do not care for them. This is significantly worse than what women had to deal in the past, by far, because men in general men had no rights just as women. It was only the upper and higher class of men that had any ability to vote or do anything. But other than that, men were just as bad as women. And there were many things that was going around that, that was not good for men, and that was not good for women. But what these people are doing are significantly worse. They want to reduce you females of everything that you have that you would deem feminine, what you would deem as a good person or what have you, right? They want to remove that from you because they don't care about you. These people are the true misogynists. They hate you. They don't like what you are. So they try to take names from you. They try to remove things that would make you feminine. They're trying to take your sports and what have you. And That's just the reality of it. And you guys have to deal with this fact until you can come to the realization that maybe, just maybe, that you have to fight back because you guys won't have anything. And they won't listen to men, but they'll listen to women. Immediately, the scene was chaotic as police did not appear to be present. Those watching from a distance through the YouTube stream were able to see King being led by her security guard, a braying crowd of trans activists. Once she managed to make it to the stage, King could immediately be heard expressing concerns about the lack of police presence. One of the security guards was also seen doused in tomato soup on the feed. This is from Redux. Chaotic scenes in Auckland, New Zealand, as women's rights campaigner the Posie Parker attempted to hold a free speech event for women critical of gender ideology today. A security guard was attacked by trans activists, and King was removed by police after a delayed response. What we're going to do here is that we're going to show this full video, and then we'll go on to the rest of the article. Take a look. Great old trans activists, very loving and caring, and they care about women's rights and women. Except they do this stuff when women want to have their voices be heard. That's the reality. So, either women, you do what they say, or you get attacked even if you want to have your voices heard. Yeah, doesn't seem to be going too great for you, trans activists. We're seeing how you guys really are. King herself was targeted by the aggression as soon as she entered the bandstand, with tomato soup being dumped on her and her guard by an activist in a purple dress. It didn't take long before the decision was made to cancel the event and leave for the safety of all involved. Surrounded by security, King and her volunteer stewards pushed their way through the aggressive mob, who threw liquid and signs at them in an effort to frighten and harm them as they left. King's livestream followed her as she was escorted into a police vehicle and driven out of the area. King continued to record her live stream as she conversed with police, revealing that she had received a threatening note under her hotel room's door that morning. In a clip posted to social media, one of the female volunteers spoke about the dramatic exit, appearing visibly shaken as she described trying to escape the violent crowd.
We were leaving the rotunda. I think the best of all was just to hold tight to her. They started pushing. We fell over and people were stomping and shouting and grabbing. I had to try to cling on to her just to push through the main crowd. The main crowd were nasty. It wasn't just comments. People were actually literally trying to trip me up, trying to punch me, grabbing my clothing. And so we just thought we just had to link arms and push through the main people. Once we broke through there, it was still people hurling things at us, hurling insults and things at us, but it wasn't as bad as the first lot. And then once we got there, we just went straight for the police. The bunch of police officers were standing there, and then they formed a barrier around her to support her exit right to the car. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the kind and considerate people. I'll say it again. These are the kind, considerate people that love you and care about you. They don't do anything bad to you. Right. After leaving the scene, the mob engulfed the bandstand where the event was due to take place and celebrated the assault on Keane and the cancellation of her women's free speech event. Later that day, Keane made a decision to cancel her Wellington event, which was due to take place on March 26th. She left New Zealand that same day. For wanting to make space for women to speak, I genuinely fear for my life today. My activism is simple. We let women speak. Why does that make anyone so angry? We show the world that what happens to women when they try to speak. No one can pretend they don't see seeing this salivating. After her rally, King posted a lengthy tweet condemning the mainstream media reports on her character, which she says emboldened the mob. Prior to her arrival in New Zealand, King was continuously accused of promoting violence against trans-identified people and being a Nazi sympathizer by the media, accusations she has vehemently rejected. The end result was that I spent most of my day with the protection of police who genuinely believed I was lucky to be alive. The advice that was I should go home. I was never the things that I have been accused of. I don't even believe they believe it. They just say it because they cannot accept a woman walking her own path and wants other women to find their feet and walk theirs, King wrote on Twitter. Yes, so this is the type of thing, guys. The type of stuff that these trans activists want to do. This is the reason why we no longer want to pursue or help these people. Because these trans activists are sick. We're seeing what they're doing to children. We see what they're doing to women in general, and we're going to say this is okay? Ladies, it's time to wake up. It's time to stop supporting these people, because these people are part of the problem. But of course, you see these women here. Yeah, these women are part of the problem. You are part of the reason why you are racing women, you're pretty much making yourselves be useless. That's what's happening here. Unless you're trans activists, in the terms of man to female. But other than that, this is what happens. Counter protesters have taken over the place that Posie Park was supposed to speak from Auckland and are giving their speeches. Incredible. Yeah, this is what the person says. And then it goes from J.K. Rowling, even she has a speech. There are multiple videos of Kelly J being assaulted. Women have become used to lies, threats of violence, and outright denial of reality. But if you imagine anyone feels defeated, think again. Your men's rights activists show the world exactly who they are. Again, these are not men's rights activists, by the way, J.K. Rowling. You're an idiot. These are trans activists. These are not men's rights activists. Men's rights activists are completely different. The idiocy from you is what's becoming. These are trans people that are actively going against women, which are called trans activists. You know what men's rights activists are? Men's rights activists are people who just want men's rights to not be ignored. We are seeing it time and time again to where they're doing this. By the way, there are plenty of men that told you women this was going to happen, and you didn't listen to us. So now you're suffering the consequences. Even with Sydney Watson here, what is happening in New Zealand is absolutely absurd. Women are gathering together, pushing back against gender ideology, demanding their spaces back. And the gender cult not only threatens them, but men cosplaying as women and them force women to abandon their own event. Yes, exactly. Breaking. A trans activist rushed the stage and was taken down by security at a Let a Woman Speak event in Melbourne, Australia. The event put on by Posie Park is intended to allow women to voice concerns about gender ideology. Yeah. So, this is what's happening, guys. We see this time and time again to where all this is going on. And it even goes on to here say, prior to the New Zealand tour, trans activists had attempted to have Keane denied entry into the country. She tried to set up online petition titled Keep Posie Park's Hate Out of New Zealand, which reached 4,397 signatures. A coalition of rainbow groups also challenged the High Courts, seeking to have her denied entry after New Zealand immigration decided that Keane did not meet the high threshold to be considered an excluded person under the Section 16 of the Immigration Act 2009. After a short hearing in the High Court as Wellington, which heard from the rainbow Rainbow groups, a justice call declined the application. King's recent Australia events were also heavily protested by trans activists. On March 19th, during the stop in Melbourne, trans activists reportedly attacked police horses, punching them in the stomach in an attempt to reach the women attendees. According to MP Doria Deemed, who attended the rally, one woman was knocked unconscious and had to be taken to the hospital. Deeming also claimed that she was kicked in the shin by trans activists. Yes. So, are you women, are you going to help us fight for your rights, or are you just going to buckle in terror and just listen to what they're going to say? Because I think this needs to be shown more. These are the people that want to remove your rights, remove your ability to speak, remove your ability to lay down and be nothing. And they only want a patriarchal society. And this is what you're giving them. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.